Quarterback Trevor Lawrence is an ankle sprain per sources. He'll have an MRI on Tuesday. Again, that's from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network on X a moment ago. Okay, that's one obviously huge part of this game. The quarterback goes down, injuries all over the place. But, Fred, they still had opportunity after opportunity back and forth all game long, and they couldn't finish the job tonight.
Yeah, JP, it's a tough one for me, man. You're going to lose some games. You're going to win some games. Sometimes they hit differently. And I think the former player in me, I'm really feeling this one. A lot of missed opportunities. More importantly, man, we don't know the status of Trevor is a huge part of this team's success. But just dialing back in the game itself, missed field goal, bobble snap, missing Ridley on a deep ball right there, allowing them to have close to 500 yards of total offense. Yeah. I don't know what team showed up out there today, but, I guess the team that lost was the team that didn't show up.
Yeah, Mike, the defense today had their worst day of the season by far. 491 total yards. Jake Browning was 32 of 37 for 354 and a touchdown through the air, another on the ground as well in, a second start?
Second start. This is the most shocking aspect of this. There's plenty of bad, right? The injuries, the loss that kept you from positioning yourself at the top of the AFC, and the Jags now are fourth in the AFC at the moment and hanging on by their fingernails in the division. But yeah, Jake Browning was 32 out of 37, mostly dinking and dunking all night, and the Jags never solved it. 354 yards. This is a team, Fred, that possessed the ball for about 18 and a half minutes last week, and they dominated time of possession on the Jacksonville. I'm sorry, about 23. They had 18 in the first half tonight compared to 23 last week. Yep. Dominated time of possession. Running game, which has been stuck in the mud all season. The Jags have been excellent there. They ran it down the Jags' throats, 156, and if you roll out Jake Browning, they still had 134 yards with the backs. It's inexplicable what happened with this defense tonight. There's so many things that went wrong with this team, but that is one that I can figure out.
Yeah, no, I think Browning, obviously he's an NFL quarterback, so I guess to that point, you give him some credit. He's a former Gatorade Player of the Year in high school, and he broke all the records in California as well as at Washington. So he's capable. He hurt his shoulder and slid in the draft in 2017, but he's behind a really good quarterback, so he's been patiently waiting for his opportunity. And I think he was quoted as saying he's delusional to the point of how optimistic he treats himself or he thinks from most of the time. Still, the defense didn't go out there. They didn't show up, much like we thought they would. Looking at the game, you take, for example, the touchdown that Jamar Chase caught. I believe it was 76 yards.
76,
yeah.
Yep.
At 3rd and 2, you put your guys in a situation where here you have a player in Tyson Campbell who's been in and out of the lineup. You want to go man-to-man right there against one of the best or top 3 receivers in the NFL. You don't know how the extent of this injury, if the hamstring is holding up, you put him on an island. My grandmother saw that, and she's in the grave. They're going to exploit that every single time. I love that matchup, and they won it. So I think in terms of putting guys in certain situations, you have to be very careful of that. All in all, they didn't show up. They didn't get it done. Certainly a good game for the most part in terms of the scoring. But other than that, just a bad loss, as you said it, Mike, for the Jags, especially with all that was at stake.
The numbers for Trevor Lawrence before he left the game, 22 of 29 passing, 258, 2 touchdowns through the air. He also had one on the ground, that 1-yard dive over the top, and he was kind of matching wits there at some point there in the second half. It felt like the Jags were punching back, and this was going to – obviously it went down to the wire overtime, but Lawrence was really starting to pick it up as well.
Yeah, I thought Trevor was outstanding, honestly. I thought 4 guys played really well today. Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, Parker Washington, Zay Jones. That's it. Both lines of scrimmage got abused. The defense got abused all night. Calvin Ridley dropped a ball that's just floating right into his stomach at the end of the first half that at least sets you up for a chance to get 3. Brandon McManus misses only his 4th field goal attempt of the year. It just so many things went wrong, Fred, but it shouldn't take away from the performance of Trevor Lawrence and some of those offensive weapons, and those guys did show up. Evan Ingram had by far his biggest game of the year, and hats off to Parker Washington coming off the bench, because you knew he was going to take on a bigger role in the return game because they're playing Dearness Johnson more on offense. So he's doing punt, kickoff, and then he gets thrust into the Christian Kirk role. And not only does he break up a would-be interception in the end zone, then he catches it for the touchdown. So I thought spectacular performance by him as well.
Yeah, that's why this Trevor injury comes more into the spotlight, because of the significance and what he means to the team. And I agree with you on a lot of that, Mike. Ingram, Zay, those guys stepped up. Washington, I think Travis Etienne, if he had more carry opportunities, maybe he would have done a bit more in the run game.
It's tough, I should say.
It's tough really on these guys. In every loss, you're gonna certain things are gonna be more magnified than others. Because if we look at for the bad plays that we think really made, the big catch at the end that was negated because of the holding.
Yep.
So there were plays to be made. Guys made plays. We had penalties that kind of offset those. You have a drop here and there. It's just one of those games, man, that those things seem to accumulate, especially when you lose, and they're just more magnified. But, again, I think this team is resilient. They got to figure out, what's going on with Trevor here earlier in the week and sort of make their adjustments and try to win these next 5 games.
That's all you can do. Final score tonight in overtime, Cincinnati over Jacksonville, 34-31, the final. Plenty ahead. We'll hear from head coach Doug Peterson coming up. He'll visit with the media and then with our Bucky Brooks here on Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC. The Jaguars fall to a record of 8-4. Cincinnati now 6-6, and this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Radio Network. Jaguars postgame continues, presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey, and prior to the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium. Final in overtime, Bengals 34, Jaguars 31. The Bengals now 6-6. The Jags fall to 8-4. A long injury list tonight. We'll get to that coming up again a little bit later. Most notably, of course, quarterback Trevor Lawrence. The initial report from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network is ankle sprain. They'll have an MRI on Tuesday. Any more updates, we'll pass those along as we see any reporting coming out. Head coach Doug Peterson has not met with the media yet. He will. We will hear from Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks right after that as well tonight. After the Jaguars lost, tough one to take, certainly. A wild back-and-forth game, 7-0, tied 7-7. Jaguars regained the lead, lost it to a tie at halftime, 21-14 Cincy in the third quarter. Jags tie it. They take the lead 28-21. And then back and forth in the fourth quarter, obviously. And then a tie game with McManus hitting a 40-yard field goal just before the end of regulation to send it to overtime. The Jaguars had a deep pass connection to Ridley inside the 5 in OT, but a holding call negated it. The Jags were forced to punt. And then the Bengals set up a 48-yard field goal from Evan McPherson, and he won it 34-31. So the Jaguars, 8-4, and yes, the number one question is the health of the quarterback moving ahead, but there are some big important football games coming up too, obviously, Fred, with the Browns next week on the road, and then the Ravens coming here in 2 weeks. But you got to figure out what's going on with the quarterback and some of these skill players around him, too. Christian Kirk was banged up tonight. Walker Little, the left tackle, banged up tonight on the same play. Trevor was hurt, so that's priority number one.
Yeah, getting the quarterback, getting that assessed and figuring out how we make adjustments going forward. Getting better, giving him a few more reps during practice, more time on film study, just to have these guys in position with this remaining schedule. You mentioned the Browns, Ravens. Just to even start, the Ravens, I think, probably the only team in there with a winning record, I believe. But either case, you got to handle yourself, everything in-house. To me, it seems as if Trevor has a high ankle. But, yeah, we'll have to wait what the MRI says.
Yep.
But, yeah, man, it's just tough all across the board, man, because this game was a big game for him. And in the big games, it seems that they have not met the expectations.
No, yeah.
That's the one thing. You look at the Kansas City game, They got the Niners game, even this Monday night, no Joe Burrow. The magnitude of the game, we talk about the division, gaining that number one seed, and here at home, and you take an L. Yeah,
that all happened tonight. By the way, Cleveland 7-5 after last week. So that's next week, of course. Baltimore 9-3, and you might be right the rest of the way, Mike.
Cleveland's defense plays really well at home too. I mean, they're like night and day, home road, and obviously that's where the game is next week. But I think the greatest disappointment here. I mean, you look back. All right, you lost to Patrick Mahomes. Right, you lost to CJ Stroud, and you didn't realize what he was turning into. Right, and you look back, and you're like, wow, this guy's having a hell of a year. You lose to the juggernaut San Francisco 49ers, who have beaten down Philly and Dallas, two of the top contenders. But you lose to Jake Brown. It's not just lose to him. You make the guy, look like, I don't know what, the most efficient quarterback in the National Football League. That, to me, is the one. This is the one of all the losses they've had this year that's got to be the most galling inside that locker room and to the fan base as well.
Because, Fred, it wasn't like deep shots down the field all night. I mean, they had the one long one, obviously.
Dink dunk.
It was short. It was screen. It was
gash you with 4 yards on the ground. Gash you with 6 yards on the ground.
Here comes the tight end again.
Yeah, it goes back to those adjustments I spoke about earlier. Putting those guys in better situations. And I can I got to call out my nephew. I got to call Tyson. I think that was his worst game as a pro. Mike, when we were on break, we mentioned the Higgins play and the 3rd and 10 right there, which would have had been a stop, would have given us the opportunity to take the ball and try to go back the other way to make field goal, and then the 76-yard deep ball. So I believe Caldwell, he tried to make adjustments and press those guys and try to take away the check downs in the short game, but as soon as he did that, they end up hitting us with the deep ball. They had a great game plan. You got to give Cincy credit. Browning again, I've seen guys in those meeting rooms.
On Trevor, and just have you ever seen a game in which you lose nickel corner receiver, left tackle, quarterback? It just, interior defensive lineman just seemed like a very odd game.
Yeah, I don't have any information yet on Trevor. We're still evaluating him, so he'll have more, tests and things done here tonight and tomorrow. So I'll probably have a better update for you tomorrow on that. But, we had position players go down. But look, it's part of the game. It happens, and it's unfortunate. But next guy up has to be ready to go and play. And I thought the guys that filled in, were just that. They were ready to go.
Defensively, what were some issues that you guys had tonight in trying to slow down Cincinnati?
Offense or defense? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Defensively. Yeah. What kind of stood out in terms of why they were able to have the 491 yards.
Yeah, we didn't stop the run. That's the strength of our defense is stopping the run. That's, we just didn't do that. We failed there. And we got too many explosive plays we gave up. And when you can't, obviously offensively, when you can't run the ball, and then when the running game for them is going, you see what happens, right? That's where the explosiveness comes from. And we had moments on offense where we got some explosives, but, theirs all stemmed from being able to run the ball successfully.
Coach, what's your initial level of concern with Trevor's injury?
I don't know until I talk to the doctors, honestly.
Confidence level in CJ going forward, obviously, will you guys make him the starter? Will you look at other options out there, or?
Well, yeah, we'll see where Trevor's at first, and but listen, we got 100% confidence in CJ. He did a nice job, getting us down the field there and tying the football game. Should have been the game-winning field goal, but it wasn't. Got a lot of confidence in CJ, and he's a veteran player. He's played a lot of football, and if he happens to be the guy, then we get behind him and support him.
It seemed like defensively there was a lot of communication issues. Is that what you saw out there? And if so, what was sort of going on with that?
Well, listen, if you're on the field, were you on the field?
No.
Could you hear the crowd?
Yeah, I could hear it.
No.
What do you mean?
If you're on the field and the crowd, as loud as they are when we're on defense, we have to reiterate communication, and that's all it is. It's just double checking with everybody. It's not communication issues. It's just being able to communicate the calls effectively. So there's a lot of talk that has to go back and forth because of the way the crowd was great today, and that's what you want. And it does kind of put your defense in a little bit of a bind because of that, right? No different than the offense going into a environment that's very loud. Communication, I wouldn't say they're issues. They're you just got to over communicate.
Well, I guess the question is why couldn't you guys overcome that?
What are you talking about specifically?
You said you have to overcompensate with the communication.
You just got to talk. You got to make verbal communicate or eye contact. You got to get closer. It's just part of a loud environment. And it's repeating yourself, as much as you can out on the field. It's foyer to the front, it's to the secondary, out to the corners and all that, and just everybody has to be on the same page.
Doug, you guys had to burn a timeout. I think it was your second one of the second half because someone ran on the field. Did you get an explanation, or what? Can you explain what happened?
It was unfortunate. One of our guys, Evan, was asking for some water after a play that he had made and just ran out on the field. It's unfortunate, obviously that's my responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen, and it's just an unsportsmanlike, and they take a timeout away.
Hey, Doug, you mentioned about your confidence having CJ going in right now, quarterback, but how much do you have to overcompensate, or how much do you have to change up going into the next week or so if Trevor's not available to go?
Well, that's something we'll look at, but I don't think we have to change up a whole lot, CJ can – you just got to utilize CJ's strengths, and I don't want CJ to be Trevor either, CJ's got to be CJ, so that's something if moving forward, if CJ, plays next week, then that's the game plan, right? You utilize his strength and tailor the offense around that.
Doug, way back in the back. Will Brown, WJCT News. This is a Monday night game, and you're turning around and taking a road trip on Sunday. With so many people who had to leave the game injured, describe the challenge of getting this team physically prepared for a shorter week. Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, but listen, it's part of the game, and it's why you have 53 and you got your practice squad. You got to get the next guy ready to go. And it's going to take everybody this week. We don't have much time. We're back on the field in less than 2 days, and so we just got to get the next guy coached up.
Couple more here, Rick. Parker Washington a few weeks ago comes in and replaces Jamal Agnew as a punt returner. Tonight he gets an opportunity when Christian goes down. Just his overall performance and what he did, making his first grabs tonight, and just everything that he was about. Yeah, I mean, he did a nice job, and when Christian goes down on the first play of the game, it's not what you expect, but I thought Parker filled in nicely, and Chad Hall had him ready to go in that spot, and he made some really nice plays for us. Obviously, the touchdown catch and a couple others. So something he can build on and continue to, gain confidence as he plays.
The way Christian got hurt, was that something unusual? Especially hurting a groin, the way he fell, it looked like an unusual kind of an injury or unusual kind of a play.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It was a great play, obviously, and I don't know if it was when he got kind of twisted around there and maybe, torqued or whatever. Yeah, it just unfortunate, such a great play to start the game, and that happened. So, not good.
When you've got a bunch of guys that get hurt like this, do you worry about the guys being shell-shocked, the rest of the team being shell-shocked?
No, I don't. We're too far down the road. Got about a little over a month of football left, and it's full steam ahead. So, we've got to get the guys that are hurt treated, and we got to get the next guy ready to go.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, sir.
The official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com. Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Who will your child grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children, so they can grow up to be whoever they want to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
It's time for the Make the Holidays Bright sales event at your local Ford dealer. Get special offers on our adventure-ready Ford SUVs or on our great selection of Ford trucks. Choose from a large inventory of Ford vehicles equipped with technology, space, and flexibility for any season. And let Ford make the
Hey, CJ, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Coming off the bench, in that moment, can you just kind of walk us through, I guess, what you were feeling, what you were experiencing?
Yeah, I mean, your first instinct is it just sucks for Trevor. You see him on the ground hurting. That sucks. It kind of takes the breath away on the sidelines, all the guys and stuff, when you see your starting quarterback hurting like that. But then, it quickly flips into going into a 2-minute drive to try and tie the game or win the game. So you don't really have much time for the nerves to kick in. You just kind of got to go.
Go back on the left. Did you have the chance to speak to Trevor in the locker room just before this?
Yeah, I saw him in there.
Could you tell us about what you guys were talking about? He seemed like he was smiling after.
He just said, "Good job coming in there and moving the ball and stuff like that." He's doing all right. We'll see. Only him and the doctors know. I guess what's going on there.
After your first few plays, did you hurt your wrist at all?
No, I just landed on my shoulder weird, but it's nothing I'm worried about. Yeah.
CJ, when you hit the field there to start to lead the team there, what did they do to help you lift you up and get you involved?
Just put a lot of confidence in me. A lot of guys came up to me and said, we believe in you. We know you got this. And at the end of the day, this is my 7th year in the NFL. It's not like I'm a young guy going in there. I know I've been in this situation before and started some games here and there. And, I was ready to go.
CJ, you got them down the field, got the field goal the first time you touched the ball after the injury. What did they do differently in the overtime possession that kind of may have changed things a little bit for you?
Nothing different. They were playing the same coverages that they've been playing. I guess they stopped, played a little bit less man. I don't think they brought any pressures in that drive. Sometimes pressure's a good thing, sometimes it's not, and it just depends on what play you have called. And I was just trying to get us in the at least range to kick a field goal to tie it and possibly win it too. Yeah. It sucks. You make the play. Calvin makes a great play down there, and you're excited, celebrating inside the 5, and you turn around and see the flag, and it is what it is.
CJ, did you? I apologize if I asked earlier. Did you get shaken up a little bit on a play?
Yeah, I said I landed on my shoulder a little weird, but nothing I'm too worried about. So.
Nothing that affected you later in the game or anything like that.
No.
Could you also just go through the emotions? You and Trevor are so close, seeing him go down, but then you have to focus on the job that you have to do. Just how tough it is to go through those emotions so quickly. Yeah,
it's tough. Trevor's, my best friend on the team, and when you see him go down like that, I've been here 3 years, and he's battled through all types of injuries, little dings here and there, and to see him, have to get carried off the field is tough. It hurts, but at the same time, it was a moment where you don't really have time to you still feel bad, but you kind of got to quickly turn it around into, all right, I gotta go. We got a 2-minute drive coming up. So,
Kirk goes down. Walker Little goes down. Bunch of guys. Cisco goes down and stuff. It seemed like a mass unit out there tonight.
Yeah.
An element of maybe disbelief or surprise or shock that so many guys are going down in a game. Like.
Yeah, it was tough. It was one of those games. It just felt like every other play, guys were getting hurt and not just little nicks and bruises here or there, but guys having to come out of the game, and it's tough. I don't know the extent to a lot of guys' injuries, but I just hoping and praying that they get better quickly and help us make this playoff push at the end of the year.
I apologize if it's already been asked, but did you get a chance to speak with Trevor after the game? What's his spirits like? Or
Yeah, he's doing good. Obviously he's sore right now, but I talked with him in the locker room, and he was good spirits. He was complimentive of me and just proud of me and stuff. And just feel bad for him anytime when your friends is hurt. All the guys, Christian, Cisco, all these guys that are dinged up, because they put so much work and effort and practice and lifting and everything. Everything goes into it. And anytime guys get hurt, whether it's for a play, whether it's for a long period of time, you just feel bad for them.
All right, thanks, CJ.
Yep. Thanks.
Appreciate it, CJ. Thank you.
With the players because they get a day off, and then we're back in and on the practice field on Wednesday getting ready for Cleveland. And but for me it's just a matter of just keep pressing forward, and I'm going to keep my foot on the gas. I'm not going to let up, and I don't want this team to let up, and they won't. They've always responded. It's maybe the good thing again is that we get back on the practice field again here in less than 36 hours or so, and we get ready for the next one.
Well, shoot, man, we'll look forward to it. We know it'll be a better performance in Cleveland. We'll wait. We'll let you go and get ready for the team.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Doug Peterson with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, and hey, that's all you can do, Fred, is get right back after it, and obviously wait for the news on the quarterback and the other injuries that happened tonight to figure out how you're going to formulate this thing. But it is all still there. However, there are some key players that went down tonight as well.
Right. I love Doug's mindset always. He said you don't stay on the gas. He got to stay on the gas, got to get back out there and get those guys going. Says they have all the confidence in CJ. They want to build a game plan around him. And I think you really start with that approach because you don't know what's going on with Trevor. But again, he mentioned that there were a lot of mistakes in this game, from alignment errors, some stuff that they should have had cleaned out that reminded them of preseason, and it showed. So I think getting back to his drawing board, making sure you get a small enough package where Beathard can go out there, and lead this team and not make mistakes. He first play of the game tonight was almost a costly mistake with the fumble. So you want to be able to get him out there, put him in situations where he can, get a few drive starters to build his confidence and allow the other guys around them to be the playmakers, around him to be the playmakers they are.
Updates from the Jaguars locker room. Cameron Wolfe, NFL Network, and Brent Martineau of Action Sports Jacks all are both saying that Trevor Lawrence using crutches and a walking boot in the locker room. He was walking around and talking to other teammates, but was standing on it, but not trying to put a lot of pressure to walk on it, according to Cameron Wolfe of NFL Network. And again, MRI apparently coming tomorrow. Ankle sprain is the initial diagnosis, according to some reports, and Doug Peterson talking about that in the post-game, that we'll find out more tonight, tests tonight and tomorrow on Trevor Lawrence's right ankle.
Yeah, well, you figure that they gave him an x-ray, so they know if something's fractured or not, right? So that's where it's the sprain diagnosis, at least right now. But, just trying to parse what Doug Peterson said, he was pretty quick to go, we'll build a game plan for CJ Beathard. I think he realizes, at least for next week against Cleveland, it's a tall task to believe on a short week that Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to turn around and get back out there on the field. I hope I'm wrong about that.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like.
I mean, just the initial look from Trevor's response, too. I mean, come on.
Well, then, we saw that last year against Detroit, right? We thought his season was over, and the next thing you know, 5 minutes later, he's running back on the field. So I'm not going to never say never.
But we also saw him being helped all the way down the hallway here
I'm
with
not
two guys.
arguing.
I'm with
agree.
you. Yeah,
I think it's very unlikely.
We hope for the best for sure. We're back in a moment. Plenty more ahead. Final stats, defensive play of the game as well. In an overtime loss, 34-31, Bengals over the Jaguars. And this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com/shadows. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
La fa 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 fa. Don't you mean fa la 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 la? Nope, we're shaking things up. Whatever you say.
Shake things up this season at the Toyotathon sales event. Lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 24 months, plus $500 holiday bonus cash. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through December 5th, 2023. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 3638 due at signing. No security deposit. With select equipment, $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at baptistmdanderson.com.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223 or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. Go Jags!
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium. Overtime loss for the Jaguars, 34-31 the final. Bengals now 6-6, very much alive in the wild card race in the AFC. The Jaguars still in first place in the AFC South, 8-4. But the injury issue, obviously priority number one. Trevor Lawrence on crutches and a boot from reports in the locker room tonight. And one of a number of injuries, Walker Little, Christian Kirk on the first play of the game with a groin issue. And then on defense, Herndon, Fatukasi had injuries tonight, just to name a few. Tough night certainly for the Jaguars in all facets in this game. Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Josh Allen doing it all on the defensive side for the Jags.
They throw it could be a double pass. This is Boyd. Now he wants to throw it back. And the ball picked off by the Jaguars. Josh Allen, has he done enough this year yet? He picked off the double pass and ran it back inside the 10-yard line of the Cincinnati Bengals. Wow. How good is that from Josh Allen?
That was in the third quarter, and what a play for Josh Allen. Just threw it right to him from Tyler Boyd on the first play of a drive. The Jaguars had just tied the game 21-21 on Lawrence to Washington touchdown. That it was a dropped interception. Washington tipped it up and made the catch to tie the game. Then the next offensive snap for Cincinnati, Josh Allen picks it off. And the Jaguars 4 plays later are in the end zone with a Trevor Lawrence touchdown on fourth down, the keeper to make it 28-21. But that interception by Josh Allen, the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. In a losing effort, though, 34-31 Bengals over the Jaguars in overtime. Let's take a look at the Everbank final stats from this one. Total yardage tonight in favor of Cincinnati, 491 to 376. Rushing yardage, 156 to 71 in favor of the Bengals. For Cincinnati, their best rushing effort of the season in any game. Passing yardage, 335 to 305 in favor of the Bengals. Penalties, 6 for 35 yards for Cincinnati, 7 for 55 yards against the Jaguars. The Bengals 8 of 14 on third down tonight. Jaguars 6 of 15 on third. And time of possession ended up pretty even, but in the first half, first quarter especially, Cincinnati really held on to the football tonight. But the Jaguars fall in overtime. But some of these quarterback numbers tonight, Mike, are pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we'll start with our guys. Trevor Lawrence, 22 of 29, 258, 2 touchdowns passing, and he also chipped in with 8 rushing yards and a touchdown on the ground as well. Overall quarterback rating of 125.4. Did not turn the ball over. CJ Beathard off the bench, 9 out of 10 for 63 yards and a QB rating of 92.9 for himself. But it was Jake Browning's night, 32 of 37, 354, 1 touchdown, was only sacked twice. Didn't turn it over himself. Of course, the 1 interception came off with Tyler Boyd. 5 different guys threw passes in this game, including Jamar Chase, completed 1 for -7 for the Bengals. So that was some of the passing numbers there. Travis Etienne did average over 4 yards a carry for the first time in a month and a half, but barely there at 11 for 45, 4.1. He did have the touchdown early on in this game. Joe Mixon carried it 19 times for 68 yards. Not super efficient at 3.6 yards a pop, but 2 touchdowns. And Chase Brown really hurt the Jags with 9 carries for 61 yards for the rookie, averaging 6.8. Through the air, Evan Ingram, the big-time receiver for Jacksonville tonight, 9 for 82 with a touchdown. Zay Jones, 5 for 78. Parker Washington filling in for the injured Christian Kirk, 6 for 61 with a score there as well. On the other side, though, is the Jamar Chase show, 11 for 149. The 76-yarder was the backbreaker that went for a touchdown. So he caught 11 out of 12 possible targets tonight. On the defensive side, Foye Oluokun led the way with 13 total tackles, 8 solos. You had sacks, Josh Allen a sack and a half, and Trayvon Walker had the other half sack for Jacksonville.
There you have it, the Everbank stats check. Fred, Evan Ingram finally got into the end zone for the first time this year. That was a fantastic play, and caught all 9 targets tonight, 82 yards. And it was about this time last season when he really started to break out and have some big-time numbers in December, and that certainly was the case here tonight for Ingram.
Yeah, no, he's certainly one of Trevor's favorite targets a year ago and earlier in this game tonight. Hopefully, when Doug mentioned building a game plan around CJ, they'll be able to build some of that into that as well. And I think the game plan, looking at what the Browns have done, and I know I'm jumping forward off of this game, it seems in the last 3 weeks, the Browns have given up about 140 yards on the ground per game. So it's a perfect timing for the running backs.
We heard that going into
Pittsburgh
tonight.
had 148 against the Bengals.
Yeah, I know. I get
mean,
it.
If you can't run it,
but
you can't run it.
It seems that things might be leaning that way if Trevor isn't available.
No, I hear you. I mean, I'm not saying they won't try to do it. I'm just right now not very confident in the results that they're going to get, I guess.
Yeah, I've played in a few of those games where you see the team is giving up like 3,000 yards
You're
per
like,
game.
man, I'm going to eat tonight.
Yeah, and then you leave with 50 yards. You're like, oh, man.
How did that happen?
But, I don't know. The playmakers got to step up and make plays. Doug said it's not one guy, so they got to prove that.
Back in a moment, we'll get the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. The injury report still to come as well after an overtime loss. Bengals 34, Jaguars 31. The Bengals 6-6. Jaguars fall to 8-4, and it's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score in overtime on Monday Night Football. Bengals 34, Jaguars 31. Cincinnati now 6-6. And very much alive in the AFC wildcard chase. The Jaguars still in first place in the AFC South, but only a game lead with a record now of 8-4. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor in the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium. And time for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. Mike, get us started.
All right. Look, I think there are 4 or 5 really good performers tonight, but I want to give my vote to Parker Washington, just for the role he was forced into tonight to have to do double duty on returns, and then Christian Kirk goes down on his first catch of the night, and Parker Washington caught 6 for 61. That's every target that came his way, including the touchdown, which would have been a nice play just to break up that pass if that's all he did on it, but it not only prevent the interception, but actually turn it into a touchdown. I thought great game, obviously the best of his young professional career, so Parker Washington gets my vote.
All right. I will give at least an honorable mention to Evan Ingram, 9 for 82 and a touchdown. However, my vote's going to Trevor Lawrence, 22 of 29, 258, 2 touchdown passes, another rushing score. He left the game, obviously, with a right ankle injury. And reports in the locker room on crutches and a walking boot. More tests tonight and tomorrow, according to head coach Doug Peterson to the media earlier. So I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. He's the first Jags player ever with a pass and rushing touchdown in 3 consecutive games now. So Lawrence is my vote. Fred, it's up to you.
You just, man, JP, you just made it a little harder for me. But I got to follow my first mind, man. I'm going to go with the sack man, Josh Allen. I think it should be 2 sacks if they go back. I don't believe Trayvon should have gotten a half a sack there. So in my mind, he has 2, but officially it's 1.1.5 right here. 7 tackles, Q2 QB hits, tackle for loss, the interception, and the pass defense. So I think Josh is really out there trying to, lead that defense. Although they struggle as an entire unit, he keeps showing up each and every week. I don't know how many consecutive weeks this is with a sack, but he's certainly taken his game to another level. 14 sacks on the season.
Yeah, he certainly has, and good time to do it for him personally, obviously, with a contract year, looming. And, yeah, this is now 3rd straight week with at least a half sack. So
6.5 in the last 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But, no, Trevor played an amazing game. Unfortunately, he didn't finish. But, yeah, Josh, I thought played an amazing game.
Josh Allen is the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, will return with the Baptist Health Injury Report. It's a long list tonight in a Jaguars overtime loss on Monday Night Football. Bengals 34, Jaguars 31. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com. Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium after an overtime loss. Monday Night Football, Bengals 34, Jaguars 31. Bengals 6-6. Jaguars are now 8-4. And the injury report is presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A long list tonight, starting with the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, a right ankle issue in the fourth quarter and did not return to the game, was helped off the field, was helped all the way down the hallway, and reports in the locker room of him wearing a walking boot with crutches. More tests tonight and tomorrow, according to the head coach. On the first play of the game, Christian Kirk, wide receiver with a groin injury, did not return to the game. And that was not a great sign as he limped up the tunnel into the locker room as well. On offense, also, Walker Little on the same play Lawrence was hurt. Little with a hamstring injury, did not return to the game after that. On the defensive side tonight, Trey Herndon, evaluated for a concussion, did not return. That was in the first quarter. Foley Fatukasi with an ankle injury in the fourth quarter. He did not return to the game as well. And at one point, Andre Sisco had a shoulder issue, but he did come back into the game. So a long list of injuries tonight. Updates expected tomorrow on some of those, at least from head coach Doug Peterson. He is expected to speak with the media on Tuesday, the day after the game. An overtime loss on Monday Night Football. We're back in a moment, and we'll get our final thoughts from Fred Taylor and much more ahead. Final score, Bengals 34, Jaguars 31, and this is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every single play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. You've worked hard for your money. So if you're ready to up your financial game, it's time to choose EverBank. EverBank. Advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Earn your advantage at everbank.com/Jaguars.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time becomes now.
A whole city will rally behind you and begin to believe too.
Because when you believe, the unbelievable can happen. We believe in justice for everyone, and we believe we're the attorneys to help people get it. Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at baptistmdanderson.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 50-50 raffle is presented by the Duval Motor Company. The total jackpot tonight, $41,922. The winner takes home $20,961. The winning number, 447-412-43080. Congratulations. Thank you for playing. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium. After an overtime loss, 34-31. Injury list is long, Fred, but the NFL never waits. It is on to Cleveland next week to face the Browns, a team that is they're in the playoff chase. They're in the playoffs if it ended today.
Yeah, I mean, it's an NFL game. It's an NFL matchup. You can never, I guess, count your chicken?
You can't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, and I think, when we looked at, Cincinnati, looked at Cleveland, we said they don't really have a starting quarterback anymore, and all of a sudden these teams are capable of beating you. Cleveland's going to be tough there. Mike said it, they're 5-1 at home. They're giving up only 11 points per game at home. So how are you going to beat them? You got to go in there and do what Doug said, man. Hopefully they can build a good enough game plan around CJ. But the real playmakers, not to say CJ isn't, but you know what I mean, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne, those guys really – they got to step up to the plate and try to make it a little bit easier for CJ. In the defense, they got to harass the old man Joe Flacco, who was just sitting at his on his couch a week ago or so. So it would be interesting to see the outcome.
They got to do that. They got to worry about Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt and Pierre Strong first. I mean, the way they did not stop the run tonight, if that continues, I mean, that's what Cleveland will do all day. They want to play 17-14 right now and dominate time of possession with the run game. And Flacco actually did okay this week for a guy, like you said, Fred, who just joined the team last week. So Jags right now, with all the injuries, going to have their work cut out for them no matter who the opponent is coming up.
Yeah, and their 2 losses and then the win against Pittsburgh. So in their last 3, after losing to Deshaun Watson, they haven't been running the ball nearly as efficient as they had with having Deshaun Watson, who's a running quarterback. So naturally, that's an additional element in the run game. and it just opens so much in the run game. They don't expect Flacco to run the ball. It reminds me of when we had Leftwich here. Leftwich was not going to run the ball. So, like the stretch zone plays, you don't have to under the backside boot play. You can just run directly and chase the running back down because the quarterback isn't going to get outside the pocket. He's not a threat. So, I think that'll be somewhat of the same formula here. Just go to the running back. But you got to tackle. Doug said they missed a lot of tackles tonight. You got to tackle if nothing else.
As you would imagine, this time of year in Cleveland, weather could be an issue. 49 degrees, the forecast high with 70% precipitation. That's, of course, 6 days away. So we'll see how that continues as the week goes along. We've seen some weird ones in Cleveland over the years with sleet and rain and snow and everything else.
And beer bottles.
Oh, yeah, that too.
The beer bottles.
That's right, the beer bottles. The heaviest precipitation
You're
of them all.
no longer allowed to have a cap in the NFL on your bottle because of that game.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game.
It was a while ago.
They were throwing them from the nosebleed.
Not good.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, have a great week. We'll talk to you, man.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars running back and Hall of Fame semifinalists. Let's get you to the finals, Fred.
I think I'm going to go to Cleveland and just camp out for a couple months.
Hang out.
Hang
out around Canton.
Yeah, why not?
See what happens.
It's a little bit down the road. It's not far.
Get used to your future home.
I like you guys better, man. I'll hang out with y'all instead.
We always enjoy that.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Taylor is out of here. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next with your calls. After a Jaguars loss in overtime, 34-31 to the Bengals. Well, the Jags fall to a record of 8-4. The Bengals now 6-6. Your calls when we come back. Thank you for listening tonight on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in, Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, after an overtime loss for the Jaguars, 34-31, 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. We will take your calls. And plenty of time to get in and plenty to discuss tonight in the overtime loss on Monday Night Football. The defense giving up nearly 500 yards, 156 on the ground, the best rushing effort of the season for the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Jaguars could not get it done tonight. Overtime loss. They had chances. They had plenty of them tonight, but they had injuries, and plenty of those tonight, most notably to the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, ankle injury, right ankle. It's a sprain, according to the reports, and tests tonight and tomorrow to see the severity of that. He was in the locker room on crutches and a boot, and that's pretty much how it went tonight.
It was, JP, when you look at the sum total of the injuries. I mean, so many reasons to be down about this game. This game is devastating to me, right? I mean, start with the injuries. Trevor Lawrence, right? Walker Little, we don't know what his status is going to be. Christian Kirk obviously missed the majority of the game. Trey Herndon missed the majority of the game.
Fatukasi
left the game. Andre Cisco got banged up, but he was able to stay in. But you're talking 5-6 starters that got banged up at least to one degree or another tonight. You had a couple of guys that were less than 100% probably coming in. So, I mean, what's been a mostly healthy season for the Jags more than made up for it tonight. I mean, the worst spate of injuries than collectively basically that they've had all year practically. So you've got that aspect of it. You've got the aspect where your defense just got manhandled tonight, just got pushed around for about 500 yards of offense by a team that I understand what Fred Taylor is saying. Jake Browning's got some high school accolades. He's a professional quarterback. he's also a guy that led them to 10 points at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, and just an average Steeler team that this Jaguar team has handled. So to get pushed around on the defensive line like they did tonight, shout out to David Garrard, who we did a show today, Keys to Victory show that we usually do on Friday, but we did it today with David. He said, number one thing is just tackle. Be sound in your tackling, because this is a team that is not going to quick strike you to death. They did the one time, but they're going to dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. And if you make your tackles, you're going to force them to have 12, 13, 14 play drives. But the Jags missed way too many tackles in this game. So you got that. You've got the fact that you had control your destiny, control your fate, or just in charge of who ends up with the number one seed in the AFC. And you went tumbling from first to fourth in the blink of an eye there. And now you look up, and you got two teams who are only a game behind in the win column, breathing down your neck. And granted, right now you've got the tiebreaker over those teams, but we'll see how long that plays out.
There's 5 games left.
There are a lot. But you're going to have the tiebreaker over Indy regardless, because you swept them. But you got two teams breathing down your neck in that regard. I mean, it's just so many things. And plus, that the whole, all right, enough of this coming out flat for a big game. We're going to solve that tonight, right? Because all these things rolled into it. The Jags are playing well. The Bengals are playing with their backup quarterback. There's so much on the line. The first Monday night game in Duval in all these years. And you fall flat in that regard. I mean, there are a few really good individual performances coming out of this game, but very small solace for any Jaguar fan, and myself included. Just the worst loss in so many categories that they've had in a long time. I mean, yeah, they lost in the playoffs last year, and that ends your season. You lose to the defending Super Bowl champs, or the team that would go on to win the Super Bowl, and you had a great run, and it's somewhat palatable. Get them next year. This one feels like you've just put your entire season on the brink, because there's so much uncertainty coming out of this game.
A lot of uncertainty. However, the Jaguars are still in first place. 5 to go. Everything out there in that regard. But we got a lot of statuses to come up with tomorrow after Doug Peterson talks and all the tests with all the injuries and everything that happened tonight. Final score, 34-31 in overtime. Bengals over the Jaguars, and let's talk about it. 355-NFL-1, the number, 355-6351. We will take your calls when we come back. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Jaguars at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. With Ticketmaster's interactive seat map, you'll get a 360-degree preview of your seat, so you can make sure you've got the best view of those pivotal plays. Plus, the Ticketmaster app makes it easy to sell or transfer tickets if your plans change. And mobile tickets make getting in on game day a breeze. Find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars. That's Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
For us, treating cancer is personal. We're Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, and we know that every patient is unique. So you'll have a plan created by world-renowned doctors and tailored to your needs. And everyone here will support you every step of the way, so you're physically, emotionally, and spiritually strong for the journey. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Visit BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Imagine traveling to watch the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans in Nashville aboard a luxury private jet. Download the free Vaunt app at flyvaunt.com/Jags for your chance to win round-trip private flights, hotel stay, game tickets, and pregame field passes for you and 3 of your friends. When you become a Vaunt member, you can unlock the opportunity to fly private for an entire year for only $1,000. That's it. So download Vaunt at flyvaunt.com/Jags and discover a world of private jet travel today. Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
It's 1 a.m. Let's get after it. The Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. Overtime loss, Monday Night Football. Plenty to discuss. What you got, Mike?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, JP.
Yeah.
All right. I don't
somewhere
know where
in the Atlantic Ocean.
Somewhere 5 o'clock in the morning, right?
Maybe in Iceland or something.
Something like that. All right. Here we go. 355 NFL 1. We'll start down in St. Johns County with John first up on the Scoreboard Show tonight. What's up, John?
John, good evening. Good morning. Next.
All right. 0 for 1 tonight. All right. Let's go to Adam in Jacksonville Beach to lead us off. How about that? Adam, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Look, I don't get it, man. We play backup quarterbacks. We play rookie quarterbacks. It's the same thing we did against CJ Stroud in the first game. We don't bring pressure. It's like we wait until there's 3.5 quarters through the game and decide we got to disrupt these guys. It's like, look, let's just wait for them to come to us. They'll throw a pick. They'll make a mistake. They'll do something. But all of a sudden they're hanging with us. It's 3.5 quarters into the game, and we don't bring any heat, man. We're sitting back. We're not pressuring these guys, and we're just letting them go. It doesn't make any sense, man. That's what cost us the game. It wasn't the BS holding call. It wasn't anything else. It was that we sat back and just let this dude throw all over us. Duval, baby.
All right, Adam, appreciate it. Look, I don't know what you do when they're taking half-step drops and firing the ball. Watching the replay on the Jamar Chase touchdown, didn't even take it took maybe a half-step drop already in the shotgun. How are you going to pressure that? You can't pressure that.
Quick releases.
Right. I mean, that was clearly the game plan for Cincinnati tonight.
And Doug Peterson talked about it in the pregame interview we had. He's like, they're going to get it out quick.
Get it out as quick as possible. So
he's been in that role before.
You got to do better covering these guys, right? You can't just, every time, tight end would just run right across the middle, wide open. I'll take 6 or 7 every single time. So maybe the coverage schemes, I don't know. I'm not sophisticated enough with defensive prowess to tell you what they should have been running, but I don't know how you could have brought much more pressure tonight, JP, as quickly as the game plan called for Browning to get the ball out of his hands. We would have loved to have seen him under duress, but you're taking, in the case of the touchdown to Chase, you're already in the pistol or the shotgun. You take literally a half-step drop, and he just flipped it out there. You can't get near the guy when he's doing something like that. And there may have been a few occasions, and I think the Jags did blitz on a few occasions as well, but I don't know what to tell you. You had a couple of sacks, and quite frankly, for the amount of short passing and quick passing that they did, I think that's not a terrible total on the night. We all want to see disrupt that. Like, to me, it's different. CJ Stroud takes deep drops, hangs on to the football. Those are longer developing plays. That, to me, was more concerning, especially that game. Houston was giving up 11 sacks in the first 2 weeks of the season, and you didn't get after CJ Stroud. Tonight, I didn't expect it to be a high sack total, just based on the way Cincinnati was going to probably try to run their offense.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the much more disappointing thing was just getting gashed by these Cincinnati running backs
ran
tonight.
The hell out of it and balanced it out, and you couldn't do anything.
Even if you take out the Browning scrambles, they basically matched their best rushing effort of the year. The Bengals did. And this is a team that's been a top 5 defense against the run pretty much all season. Inexplicable to me how they got blown off the ball like they did tonight.
Bad, real bad.
Let's get one more in here on this side. Cruz is in Grove Park next up on the Scoreboard Show. What's going on, Cruz?
Hey, gentlemen, I did not think that after yesterday morning that I could hurt any more from a good football season. But I'm here to tell you that Monday Night Football is here to roll into town and let you know that this game will rip your heart out. I know that you guys will say that there's still 5 games left, and there are still 5 games left. But this right now hurts more than any 2-14 season ever could. This is tough. It's hard to not feel like this team is cursed. To have battled back and have done the things they have done, to get a quarterback, to control their own destiny. Monday Night Football, first time in 12 years. And to go like that, this game will absolutely rip your heart out.
I don't disagree, and
I don't disagree with the last part. I will say, yes, there are 5 games to go. Yes, they are 8-4. Yes, they are in first place. Yes, it's too close for comfort right now. But let's see what happens with all the injury stuff tomorrow, and then build it from there and move forward.
Nobody's saying we're not going to play it out, and that the Jags. When Doug Peterson says all our goals are still attainable. Well, they are, because if you can make the postseason, you can get on a run and go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
But what's more likely, that you get in as the 4 seed and you get 1 home game and you got to go on the road twice to Miami, Baltimore, Kansas City, and you get to the Super Bowl, or you dictate that everyone has to come through Duval County, and that is almost out of the picture now. It really was. This was not a game you could afford to lose if you wanted to have a legitimate chance to have the number 1 seed in the conference. You can't count on all these other teams losing multiple games down the stretch here. So while, yes, technically all the goals are still attainable, one of the steps to achieving those goals that would have made it the easiest possible path is almost out the window, in my opinion, with this loss tonight. It's not mathematically out the window, but, I mean, realistically, the Jags are, right now, just focus on winning the AFC South and getting at least 1 home game in the postseason, I think, is the more realistic goal.
I respectfully disagree that this is worse than 2-14.
I agree with you on
2-14 is bad. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Totally agree with you. I mean, the Jags have life. They're not out of it. They're the division leader, right? And it's terrible. And we don't know how long the absence will be for any of these guys that got banged up tonight, and that could compound that. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. This is not worse than 2-14. But you know what? Crew's a fan, and that's how he feels in the moment. And I don't doubt he feels that way right now.
I respectfully disagree,
and that's fine.
Back in a moment, more of your calls. Bucky Brooks standing by. He's got plenty after this one. Overtime loss, 34-31 is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Facing cancer takes a lot of determination, strength, and support. And you'll get it all at Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center. Determination from world-renowned doctors, giving you specialized treatment with cutting-edge technology and research. Strength and support from a dedicated team, caring for you completely, during and after treatment. Don't face cancer with anything less than the team at Baptist MD Anderson. Appointments available at baptistmdanderson.com.
Hey, it's Salem from Travel Camp RV, the official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted to personally invite you to come shop with us. With locations throughout the Southeast, we're likely not far from you. We offer the nation's top RV brands. You can expect value pricing from the get-go and guaranteed best financing options. You can also find us online at travelcamp.com. Our mission is simple, to help more families make more great memories in an RV. Travel Camp RV. We've had the pleasure of doing this since 1982.
Huddle up, score the title of most fired up Jags fan, and win the ultimate VIP watch party experience. 505 Southwestern has teamed up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Bono's Pit Barbecue, and Yucatan Guac to give you and 30 friends an unforgettable experience. Hang with Jackson DeVille and the Roar cheerleaders at the Bono's Town Center location as you cheer on the Jags during their last game of the season against the Titans. Free food, course beer, and prizes included. Enter to win at jaguars.com/sweepstakes.
Calling all Jags fans. Is your little one ready to become a junior Jaguar? Now through January 2nd, MyGate rewards loyalty members who buy 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola participating products will be entered to win one of 10 behind-the-scenes experiences at Everbank Stadium for your child. Plus, you'll earn a 10-cent rollback at the pump, a win every time. Fuel your child's dreams, your car, and your passion for the Jags with Gate, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
We're back. It's the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium. Overtime loss, 34-31. Bengals over the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. Bucky Brooks has had his post-game pizza. He's had time to decompress, and he joins us now in studio. Bucky, good morning, and what the heck happened on defense tonight? Let's start there.
Not a good day. Not a good day. It starts with the basic skills. Like they didn't tackle well, didn't do a good job of fitting the run gaps, never got control of the game at the point of attack. And so when you can't control the running game and force people to be one-dimensional, then you can't get after the quarterback. And it was always a dilemma when you played the Cincinnati Bengals. Even though our focus was on the backup quarterback, Jake Browning, it still doesn't stop the million-dollar question. Who is going to cover Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd? And if you can't cover those guys in man-to-man and you sit back in zone, then they're able to run the football, and that's what they would do. And once Jake Browning got hot, then it became really easy for them to do whatever they want to do on offense.
Despite all that, if they don't have the 78-yard play, right, I mean, you're ended up 10 catches for like 75 yards for Jamar Chase. You take that all day, right? I mean, so what happened? You know, Fred was talking about single coverage on that he just thought, hey, look, it's third down. You cannot leave anybody on an island with Jamar Chase in that circumstance.
Well, maybe what you're thinking is, and we talked about it, like Tyson Campbell has been our best corner. And so sometimes when you look at him and you're like, oh, okay, he's our best corner. We're going to lock our best on your best. We can go man-to-man. We can get off the field on 3rd and 1. Surely they won't take a shot. And Jake Browning looked up and took the shot. Mm-hmm. Tyson Campbell could not find the football. And that play early, I think it spooked us to the point where we didn't play man-to-man. We didn't play man-to-man much after that. And so then it really opened up the lanes for the running game. The only way that you're going to stop the run is you have to drop the safety in the box. But because we were scared, because we got hit with the big play, we never dropped those guys in the box to take care of Joe Mixon. And once Joe Mixon got going, they got the confidence up, the offensive line started feeling like they could control it, and we just kind of lost our way.
One of our callers here a minute ago, I don't know if you heard it, was talking about the Jags lost it because they didn't get enough pressure. I feel like it was hard to get a lot of pressure on Browning because of the game plan tonight, or do you think there were missed opportunities there?
No, we never forced him into a long yardage situation.
Right,
so
right.
The hardest calls on defense are second and medium, third and short, because do we sell out, stop the run? Do we play the pass? Like, what are we worried about? Can we match up? They never forced a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12 where everyone in the stadium knows it's a pass. So now Josh Allen, Trayvon can kind of get in their track stances and go after. We never got control of the game, and because of that, he was always very, very comfortable. And I'll give Zach Taylor credit. We were playing soft zone, so they kept throwing those little now screens and quick hitches and quick outs, and he was in rhythm. We couldn't challenge Jake Browning and make him throw tight window throws because tonight we weren't good enough to cover those guys one-on-one in man coverage.
Scoreboard Show, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks after an overtime loss, 34-31. Phone lines, 355-NFL-1. We got some calls, right?
Oh, we got a lot.
Yeah.
Let's get back out to the south side here. Dean is up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Dean.
Good evening, Mike. Great show. I just wanted to make a point. You know, it seems like the whole discussion this fall has been the trying to get that first home bye, though, and it just seems to me like that has been an obsession now. This loss here, I mean, I just think the Jags need to focus on trying to make the playoffs because, being home, I mean, they were home against Kansas City in September. That didn't seem to help, and being home tonight certainly didn't help, helping, lead to a victory. So hopefully the Jags can just focus and, like you said, it's better where we're at now than being 2-14 this time of year.
No doubt. And look, I understand the home record's not as good as the road record.
Yeah, they're 6-0 away from here, including London.
I don't want the 6th seed. You know what I mean? I still want them at home.
I'd rather have a seed of some kind, to his point. Okay, at this point, you're the 4th. Just stay, have a seed somehow.
And I don't think they lost this game because they were focusing on the number 1 seed. Whether Kansas City lost last night or not, I mean, you have to come out and put on a better performance than you did tonight, Buck.
Yeah, no, so what's interesting in having a conversation with Doug, not only on air but off air, he just talked about, like, being a little nervous going into this game, like making sure that the guys' heads were right. Sometimes what happens is when you play a team that's playing with their backup quarterback, you can kind of let up off the intensity and gas. Like, maybe the intensity would have been different if Joe Burrow plays because now everyone is ready and up or whatever. He just felt like they didn't bring that level of urgency and edginess. And
how?
That's their last 3 losses that he's made comments like that.
He's talked about that. And so maybe there's a little level of, like, emotional immaturity when it comes to, like, that gap between being a good team and a great team is significant because the great teams come out, they take care of business. They don't allow these teams to hang in there that are struggling. And what we've seen is we haven't been able to do that. And to your point, we've lost, like, how many home games? 3?
4 now, right?
4 home games. Like, so now we're talking about home field. Maybe we don't want home field advantage. Like, maybe maybe we're better on the road for whatever reason.
Circle the wagons. Everybody's against us.
Yeah, maybe we need to, like, everyone go. Y'all stay in hotels, do all the other stuff. Like, don't do it. But yeah, it's been a problem. And look, there's another one. Like, you have Cleveland, you got Baltimore coming up on the horizon. Normally, teams will shoot to go 3-1 every quarter, and so we're sitting here the last quarter, even though you have 5 games. They go 4-1. It'll put them in a situation where they're gonna be 12-5. Like, that's probably 3 seed, and they're probably sitting right where they're supposed to be anyway.
Yeah,
possibly.
But, let's see what happens with the quarterback.
Right. Well, let's see what happens with that Baltimore game too. That's got to be. Is it one of the 4 or the 1?
Okay, right. So, like, who's left on the, like? Did we talk about Cleveland? Then I know we have, like, Tennessee,
Baltimore.
Yeah, we got Baltimore. We got Tennessee. We have Carolina and Tampa. Right.
That's correct.
Okay, so I would like to think that out of those 5, 4 of those,
I would like to think that going into tonight, 5 of those 6 were definitely in their favor too. You know, so I just think this loss tonight, and as beat up as they got in the loss, we don't know. When's the next time we'll see Trevor Lawrence, right?
Well, not only that, like, the one that is really significant to me and no one's talked about is Christian Kirk.
Yeah, first play.
Christian Kirk goes first play. Like, he has a big game. All the advantages for the Jaguars offensively, wide receivers against their DB. So now you remove him there. Parker Washington had a touchdown, but he's not Christian Kirk. It changes the dynamics. We didn't have Strange up, so you had Luke first. So we couldn't really get into certain things to take advantage of the favorable matchups. Maybe with a week of practice, come out with a game plan, whether it's CJ Beathard or Trevor Lawrence. Maybe you can do something differently, but we certainly weren't at our best tonight.
All right, let's get one more here before the break. Taylor is downtown, and I believe maybe stuck in some traffic. But on the Scoreboard Show, Taylor, go ahead, please.
Yeah, man. So just left the game. I got to say, man, that one hurts for the city. First Monday night game in 12 years, and to drop the ball like that, man, I mean, when you put up 28 points at home and you lose Christian Kirk on the first play of the game, it's on the defense, man. I can't tell you how many times, we allowed Browning to throw the ball and they complete a pass and there's not a defender within 5 yards of the guy. Our pass defense was lacking. Our run defense was lacking. We let them run the ball all over us. We let them throw the ball all over us. And I got to say, man, this one's on the defense.
Thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, the Bengals had their best rushing day of the season. I mean, they had gone over 100 yards only twice all year. And they go for $150, 153 in this game, whatever the heck it was. I mean, this is a Jags defense that was third in the league in rushing defense coming in, and they weren't that tonight.
Despite all that, I mean, it's still make one or two plays here. The 3rd and 10 on the eventual game-winning field goal drive. Tyson Campbell's got T. Higgins, who's coming off a hamstring injury. I know Tyson's coming off his own, right? But T. Higgins almost has Tyson Campbell falling down trying to cover him on a 3rd and 10, and he picks up 11. If you just stop him there, they're punting it away, and maybe CJ Beathard leads us down to a game-winning field goal, maybe not. I'd like to see what would have happened.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things with that. Like, one, we decided to play off on those guys. We didn't challenge them, didn't put our hands on them. So you give free access. Like, that's like most NFL quarterbacks, that's pitch and catch. That's 7-on-7 all day in practice. They should be able to do that. I think some of the things that will show up, the pre-snap penalties really hurt us because there was a series of pre-snap penalties where we had the missed field goal. Brandon Scherf had a false start early. We come back, get a sack. Then we miss a 48-yarder. Those things add up. Like, not taking care of just like little minor details hurt us. The miscommunication between Trevor Lawrence and the wide receivers. You had Parker Washington being a new guy in there. It appeared that we had some issues getting lined up and really running the routes that were called. All of those little things add up in a game that is very, very tight. You go back and watch the tape and look, you kick yourself because this is a game that should have been a winnable game for the Jaguars, but you don't execute.
I mean, the Jags had just taken a 28-21 lead and then forced a punt. So the Jags had the ball. It was from their own 9, but there was the false start on everybody but the center, followed by delay of game, back-to-back.
Right.
Back-to-back, so then you kick from your own end. Yeah. And I think you kick from your own end, the ball doesn't even get past the 50.
No.
So then you have a short field.
Short field, they score the touchdown to tie it.
See, all that complimentary football stuff that people talk about, like that's how it goes back and forth. Those two penalties end up costing you significant yardage. It makes it easy for a team playing with a backup quarterback to score.
Back in a moment. Plenty more on this football game. Of course, overtime loss in Jacksonville on Monday night. 34-31, Bengals over the Jaguars. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Imagine traveling to watch the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans in Nashville aboard a luxury private jet. Download the free Vaunt app at flyvaunt.com/Jags for your chance to win round-trip private flights, hotel stay, game tickets, and pregame field passes for you and 3 of your friends. When you become a Vaunt member, you can unlock the opportunity to fly private for an entire year for only $1,000. That's it. So download Vaunt at flyvaunt.com/Jags and discover a world of private jet travel today. Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information. Calling all junior fire chiefs. Parents, register for your child to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience. Cheering on the Jags from the brand new Firehouse Subs fire truck at Everbank Stadium, flashing the fire truck lights when the Jags score. As honorary junior fire chief of the game, your child will receive a Firehouse Subs gift, and the whole family will receive 4 tickets and a parking pass to a home game this season. Visit Jaguars.com/sweepstakes to enter to win today. See website for terms and conditions.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks from the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium after a Monday Night Football loss in overtime. 34-31 Bengals over the Jaguars. Bengals 6-6, Jaguars 8-4. Phone lines jammed. What you got?
All right, let's go to Mandarin next. George, you are next on the Scoreboard Show. How you doing, George?
Well, I've been better, and I just don't see how in the world anybody would pick a defensive player on our team to be the player of the game. Trevor played great. We scored 31 points. I mean, that was the worst defense I've ever seen. They had the greatest game plan I've ever seen against us. They used Josh Allen in his rushing for the quarterback only like a charm to get themselves going. It was just ridiculous. I don't understand. Did y'all not understand there was a whole different defense? They were rotating all these players in. It was just, I just don't understand what was going on tonight. But the offense we scored 31 points in the NFL. You're supposed to win the game. It was ridiculous. And Caldwell, whatever game plan that was, he needs to light it on fire and never look at it again. I hope Trevor's okay. We look really good on offense. But, man, I'm telling you, that defense just let everybody down. It was amazing. I just don't know what to say, man. It's just every time we get a chance to be in the spotlight, to do good things, we look like this garbage. I don't know what y'all are talking about. We played great on offense. The defense game plan was terrible. Parker Washington had a great game. A star was born. I mean, the kid played great. I just don't get it, man.
I appreciate the call.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Not sure if he realized Fred Taylor's left the set because you picked Trevor, I picked Parker Washington.
Yeah.
Fred
picked Josh.
Fred went with Josh Allen because he had the sack and a half and an interception.
But to the caller's point, they gave up nearly 500 yards of offense.
I wouldn't have gone defense either, but catching strays over here.
That's what it is. I mean, they just had a bad day on defense. Really bad day.
Yeah, bad day at office. Bad day at office. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, I can understand being frustrated about the defense. I don't know if all those people on offense that he alluded to played great though.
Is this a one-off on defense? Is this who they really are, or are they the good run-stopping defense that can occasionally get takeaways and get sacks with Josh?
Look, I won't say that. I won't dismiss all the things that the defense had accomplished, but when you put stuff like this on tape, now every team is going to kind of knock on that and kind of see if you've solved the issue against the run. They're going to do some of the same things. You'll see more bootlegs and all that other stuff until you show that you can stop it. The big thing will be going forward, can you lock up and play man-to-man in the secondary, or are you a zone team? Because there's some limitations to what you can do when it comes to stopping the run when you're so zone heavy. And we'll see if we can play man-to-man.
Have they been a man defense most of the year?
No, but they've been able to, when they needed to get a man-to-man, they've been able to hold up. Like some of the things that Mike Caldwell has done is they've been a little bend but don't break. But when they've needed plays, he's been able to use the element of surprise to get blitzes and those things. Well, tonight they never could get in a situation where he could come after him. And then when they did, they gave up big plays, which kind of scared them. Then they stayed conservative. At some point against some like the better quarterbacks, you're going to have to be able to kind of like change up what you normally do to be able to get them. You're not going to be able to rely on them just to be having an off day.
The better quarterbacks and the better receivers, too. I mean, you think about the teams that they've lost to, right? Yeah. I mean, Houston's receivers are playing at an elite level this year, right? San Fran's got elite weapons. Right? Clearly, Cincinnati's got elite weapons on the perimeter. We just didn't think they had the guy who could deliver them the football as much as they would like. A lot of the teams they've beaten haven't been able to challenge you in that department.
And that is a great observation. The teams that have had multiple receivers have given us problems because, look, Tyson Campbell, Darius Williams was playing great at the beginning of the season, but can those guys hold up? And then when you think about the injuries and how the injuries affected it, like Trey Herndon goes out early. So you have Junior on the field. How comfortable were they in his ability to hold up? So maybe they feel good about the other guys outside playing man, but did they feel good about Junior holding up against Tyler Boyd or any of those things? And when you have so many people running in and out of the lineup, it certainly gives you a reason to pause before doing some of the things on an aggressive standpoint.
All right, let's get one more here. Will in E-Town is next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Will.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, what's up, bud?
Good. First off, I want to thank you guys for all you do. Honestly, incredible work. I listen to you every single day. Second, I'm kind of numb to the pain. So this isn't going to be an elevated speech because this is a lifetime of experiences like this. I think the only thing worse than watching our defense get lit up by a backup QB was my poor wife that had to walk up the stairs 5 times to go to the bathroom because she's almost going to have our first child. But honestly, I think, what I really think is not talked about enough is that in our losses, it seems we've just been completely out-schemed by either sometimes it's the offensive coordinator, it's Mike Caldwell getting out-schemed, or it's Press Taylor. But in the 49ers game, they just had a game plan that I understand the missed tackles or blown assignments, but it seems like the Bengals offensive coordinator came in with a game plan that we just were not ready for, and we couldn't make any adjustments to. And I think if you look back to all of our losses, it's us getting out-schemed. The Texans game, the 49ers game, this game, our offense did look really good, but our defense it seemed every pass that was thrown by Browning was wide open. And I think there's a lot of people in football that are smarter than me, but it seems like our coordinators are just getting outclassed by these other teams in big moments. But I'm just a fan. I'm a nobody, but I'm numb to it all. So I'll leave it up to the experts like you guys to help decipher my problem that I have.
All right, Will.
Thanks for the call. You are somebody. Come on.
Come on. What do you say, Bucky?
I mean, obviously, look, you're talking about NFL quality coaching, so you have guys that have schemes. Every team, like even bad teams, have guys that are nice with the pen and paper. They can come with those things, but it comes down to execution. They executed their game plan because we never could dictate the turns. We couldn't win the early downs. We didn't win first down, so we couldn't force the Bengals into tough situations where, look, the game was on Browning's shoulders. Because we never put it in obvious situations, he was always comfortable. And no matter the level of quarterback, you got to make the quarterback uncomfortable. We couldn't do that. That's why we lost.
Back in a moment. Final thoughts. If you didn't get in here, the 5th quarter is coming up tonight. Oh, boy. What a night ahead. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
If you're facing cancer, you want a dedicated team working for you. At Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center, we only focus on cancer. And we partner with one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So you'll have a specialized treatment plan created by our experienced and highly trained oncologists and surgeons, collaborating with one of the country's leading cancer centers. Best of all, we're in North Florida with locations in downtown, Baptist South, and Clay. Appointments at BaptistMDAnderson.com.
Imagine traveling to watch the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans in Nashville aboard a luxury private jet. Download the free Vaunt app at flyvaunt.com/Jags for your chance to win round-trip private flights, hotel stay, game tickets, and pregame field passes for you and 3 of your friends. When you become a Vaunt member, you can unlock the opportunity to fly private for an entire year for only $1,000. That's it. So download Vaunt at flyvaunt.com/Jags and discover a world of private jet travel today.
Huddle up, score the title of most fired up Jags fan, and win the ultimate VIP watch party experience. 505 Southwestern has teamed up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Bono's Pit Barbecue, and Yucatan Guac to give you and 30 friends an unforgettable experience. Hang with Jackson DeVille and the Roar cheerleaders at the Bono's Town Center location as you cheer on the Jags during their last game of the season against the Titans. Free food, course beer, and prizes included. Enter to win at Jaguars.com/sweepstakes.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Hey Florida, this is Luke Fortner, center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know the rush of a good game, but there's no winning with aggressive driving on our roads. It's all about strategy and control. Embrace the space with the driver in front of you, go the speed limit, and use that blinker. These are the moves that make us all champions of the road. Target Zero is our game plan for safer roads and is a testament to our teamwork and dedication. Join me and let's get everyone home safely every single day.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final moments of the Scoreboard Show. Thanks for all the calls tonight, or this morning, whatever this is now. What is it, 1:40?
It's the morning.
Yeah, it's morning. And the fifth quarter is next. They'll take more of your calls. I don't know if traffic has cleared out yet or not, but apparently that was an issue leaving the stadium tonight after a tough overtime loss, 34-31 Bucky, and we'll just keep an eye out for the injury updates tomorrow. Doug Peterson, I guess, scheduled to speak with the media at some point tomorrow. Maybe he'll have updates, and then we'll figure out how to move forward, right? That's it.
I mean, that's all we can do. You can put this one to bed. Doug talked about they won't even really have a chance to look at the tape. Got to move on Wednesday. Got to start talking about the Cleveland Browns, and so we will have to do that. We can put this one behind us. Get ready to.
We'll try.
Be positive.
I have a feeling this one's going to linger.
Oh.
I do.
Do you have
24-hour rule?
Do you have to let it linger?
You don't have to let it linger. Joe Fortunato will tell you that.
Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to? No, I'm kidding.
It's human nature.
Hey, 34-31 in overtime. Mike, you got Jaguars tomorrow. Today.
Yeah. I'll get home an hour from now and turn around and get right up and come right back. So, 10 to noon.
Drive careful and sleep well.
Me, Tony Smith, Jeff Lageman tomorrow.
Love that. Bucky, safe travels tomorrow as well.
Yeah. I'll try and have a more positive attitude than Demp over here.
Hey, I'm just being a realist, man. I think this one's going to linger. The fallout from this game is
it's going
to linger.
It's going to light up, man. It's not a good day right now in Florida.
No, it's a bad day.
The Knowles got shafted. Then we got this not going. It hasn't been a great football weekend.
No, you're right.
For some.
No, you're right. That's Bucky Brooks. We'll close with that. That's Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew, the Fortunato clan, Donna Murphy, Tony Smith, and thanks to you for calling and listening. Final score at overtime, 34-31 Bengals over the Jaguars. And this has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.